Package Your Brilliance Series. I'm Stacy Walker.
And I'm Deborah Anderson.
And we are back for another segment, of course. And today's featured expert is Jenea. So Jenea, I am so happy that you are here. Deborah and I are extremely happy that you're here. So can you please share with the people who are watching and listening who you are, what you do, and how you help people?
I'm a career development coach for professional moms, whether they are working moms unfulfilled in the career they're in, or stay-at-home moms ready to return back into the workforce, confidently transition into careers that pay them what they want and doesn't mind that they're moms, without going back to school or without feeling mom guilt. I specialize in resume writing, interview prepping, and mom and work-life balance.
All right. Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction, and thank you for working with the moms out there. I'm a mom, Deborah's a mom, so we know that it can be a challenge to, really go after your dreams, whatever they may be in the professional or entrepreneurial or a combination of both. So thank you for using your skill sets and your gifts to help other people excel. So today's topic is going to be about how to create a standout brand. Everybody's unique in their own way. So when it comes to this topic, Jenea, can you please share what have your experiences been when it comes to creating a standout brand?
Okay, so from my experience, the main thing I learned was to be who you are. It might seem like a cliche, but that's the biggest thing I learned. And I learned it from being in the professional world, first of all. It's because that's where my story came from. Is one of the stories I always talk about is one of the times when I was in the working world and I got my first professional job. And my ideal professional was dress the professional way, wear the makeup, have your hair all fixed, neat and nice, look the professional. Make sure all your work is good. Make sure you always having it tippity top shape. And then I was new to it, so I really wanted to be perfect. I didn't want to make no mistakes, but it was boring. It was so boring. I remember sitting at my desk and having nothing to do. And I didn't know, I never worked a job where I had nothing to do. I came from retail because I worked in retail while I was in school. So I came from retail and we always had something to do. In fact, I found a routine. I'm good at making structure, finding routine, making things work for me. So I was sitting at the desk and there's nothing you could pick and pluck to figure out stuff to do. Once you would call your clients, once you fill out all the paperwork, you had nothing to do. At the time, I didn't know who I was. I just knew I didn't like that. I knew it was making my energy, pull my energy away, and I felt unfulfilled. I felt not myself. And so then I went into another job where I loved it. I was doing CNA work, and nobody know what that is as a certified nursing assistant. Had nothing to do with my degree. I had a master's in human services, nothing to do with my degree. In fact, I had to go to school to get a certificate to be a CNA. And I loved it. I didn't know why, but it was something that I always had something to do. So that's the first tip I would give people, is to know who you are and know your non-negotiables. That's how I say, know what you stand for and what you don't stand for. Because knowing what you don't stand for will actually teach you what you stand for. And so from learning in that environment, that I like to basically have something to do, be challenged. And that's what CNA did for me. And so when I went back into my field as a role counselor, they call it, I would go to people's house and counsel them. I thought that's what God sent me to do. I was like, oh God, this is what I love it. I love it. I love it. But I was doing more personal development in the job. I know that a lot of people might recognize this. This is when you have a degree, sometimes jobs hire you because you have the degree, but they don't train you. So you're actually training yourself as you do the work. So now you're training yourself, and on top of that, all the other work you have to do. And then I was messing with crooked and abusive bosses. Them bosses would play with my money. If anybody understand, when you have a degree, it's not like you're working at Target or Walmart. You see, Walmart, I felt that my benefits, my raises, my bonuses, all the stuff I had with Walmart. I thought it would be better in my professional job. It wasn't. In fact, I never had benefits. I felt like I worked harder, and then you had more, people that you was working with that could be abusive to you. Not only the bosses, but the clients. So you're working with people, you're talking to people about their mental health, and these people could be violent. These people could have sickness. Like when the COVID came out, because I was still working when the COVID came out. When the COVID came out, I had a client that when I went to her house, she never informed me about having symptoms or the possibility of COVID until I got there. Like, you don't know what you run into when you're running with these people, and some of them is inconsiderate of what you're going through. So when I went out there to do my brand, it was mostly about knowing who I was and what I stand for. I didn't know how to put it out there at the beginning, so I had hired a coach. The first coach I had hired, she gave me strategy. I advise anybody not to get a coach that gives you just strategy, because when you have strategy, it don't help you with the mindset, the not good enough, the not what people care. It never helped me articulate my value, my beliefs, like all that stuff I ran into with the strategy. And it seems so easy that I could tell everybody, like I tell my clients, I could give you the resume strategy that I use, but if you don't know your value, how you gonna be able to put down your skill set and show it to the company and be confident in it? You have to, it's not just about strategy. So I end up running into another coach, and she was more of a aligned with my beliefs. That's another thing I would tell you, is to find somebody that's aligned with your beliefs, because they gonna uplift you in your beliefs and help you excel more than you ever thought. Because I didn't see the value in myself. My coach saw the value in myself. I knew it was there, but I didn't know how to put it together. So it wasn't about the strategy. It was really about my mindset. Was I good enough? So my brain became the black sheep. My brain became, I said, how can I articulate being a black sheep in my brain? But also you have to attend to your clients too. Like, I identify as a black sheep because of the things that I stand for is actually against what some people stand for. Like, I don't stand, like one of the stands I go by is follow your purpose, not your passion. And then I don't even say follow your purpose. I say know your purpose, because your purpose is inside of you. Whatever you're paying at, that's your purpose. And they have going around all the time, these big people saying, follow your passion, follow your passion. And I say, the reason why I follow your passion is bad is because it's external. It tells you what you love. But when you love something, you got to learn how to take that passion. And sometimes people don't know what they love because society pushes down. When we growing up, they tell us, oh, that, don't like that, don't love that, don't do this, do that. And that was me. I remember I had a baby young. I was 17, and I was the first person to graduate from college. I was the first one to go to college in my family, period. But all my family members were telling me exactly what I had to do. Go to college. But that's what they heard. Nobody knew how, but I would have to take all the pain of going to college. I had to do the study. Then I had a child that I had to worry about daycare. And then I was working. So it's like I felt guilty for not being there for him. But I say, but it's for a purpose. It's going to bring me a life that I could create for him. I'll be able to get us a car, get us a house. That's what I was believing the college degree would have done for me. But I ended up not being that way. I got college debt, couldn't find a job. The first job I got, fired. The job that had nothing to do with my degree, loved it. Got back in my field, started messing with crooked bosses. So I'm like, I pushed to become who I was, like to really own in what I believe in, what I trust about myself, and what is my values, and stand in that. And you got to be ready for rejection. You got to be ready for denial. You got to be ready for those people that going to be telling you this is not the way to go. But not everybody going to like what you do. And that's why I coined the meaning of black sheep, because I stand out because I am who I am. And that's who I am. Like, I can't change who I am. Because at one point, I used to be upset being a dark-skinned Black woman. And the only reason I was upset because I didn't even know how much society taught, even in my own family, that being a dark-skinned Black woman was something was wrong with me. And like, I didn't know was something wrong with me. But I just always carried this burden that I wasn't pretty enough. My light-skinned cousins get this because they light-skinned. And then I got crooked teeth. I don't know, you could tell, but so that was just my excuse. Like, I was like, I can't do this because I'm dark-skinned, I got crooked teeth. Like, everything gave me excuses to not fully be who I wanted to be. And then my circumstances, my bosses was crooked. I was in a relationship with a drug addict. I felt like he didn't love me. I never stayed with my baby daddy when I was young. Like, these circumstances also added to the belief that I wasn't good enough. And then doing it on your own makes you feel way not good enough. I guess when I first got into this industry, I thought that everybody would be flocking to me. I have a degree, I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm saying, but it's not like that. You really gotta know who you are, because you're gonna get rejection. But then at the same time, you know to know who your client is. So it's kind of like knowing your brand as who you are, and then speaking up for who your client is. Like I say, I work with the working moms because I was that working mom. Like, my stories was me. I'm talking to myself. Like, when I was in that state of mind, like how I felt like I wasn't good enough. Like, when I was putting in all those resumes and I felt rejected and I would give up and I felt depressed and I felt like I was giving up. My last job, when I felt like I was sitting on that sofa, I just found out I was pregnant. I had 2 kids at home and I was a sole provider. So I felt like, man, I can't do this. God, why you put this in my life? I felt like I was a failure as a mom, as a person altogether. And this man that I was working for at the time was very smile in your face kind of person. And then he was doing this to me. So I felt like he was using me. And I felt that was the thoughts I always got. Everybody was using me, everybody. In my relationships, everywhere I would go, I felt like people was using me. And that was the thought I had going into this entrepreneur space. So I know that being a working mom, we put on all these roles, being a mom, being a worker, also being what else, a partner or whatever else hats we want to ride. Like, sometimes we gotta go to the PTO meetings, make sure the work is on time, and then we have to have sex with our partner when they want us. So we always doing all these things, and then we forget about me time. What about me? Hey, what do I really want? We never sit down and think about those things because it's hard. Society tell us to do everything. Work like you don't have no children, and then raise children like you don't have no work. Like, it's no balance. It's nothing. So I knew I was that mom. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to stand up for those moms because I didn't see nobody else standing up for them. And then another thing I would say is I started looking at other career coaches. I started picking and choosing what I liked, what they said, the energy they brought. And I'd say you got to pick an angle where they're not going. I knew who I was. And then I would look at all of them because they have some for Black women. They have some for Latino women. They got some for just career coaches that want to help women in unfulfilled jobs. They have different nectars, but none of them were saying working moms or stay-at-home moms that want to return to the workforce. And it's not that they probably don't work with them. They wasn't saying it. Nobody was voicing their voice. Nobody was speaking for them. So I just spoke for them. Like I have people telling me, like, sometimes I go on there in the online, and I have people telling me, what about the single dads? Like, I have to explain to them, I'm not a single dad. I'm a single, like, I'm not a single dad. Not, I'm really not single, but I'm not a single dad. I can't speak for the dads because I'm not a dad. I never experienced being a dad, but I would love to hear your insight about what it is to be a dad in the same situation. But some people, you're gonna notice, is when they start speaking, they wanna be heard too. But at the same time, it's kind of like they downing you to be heard. But you gotta stand, because somebody gotta stand for those people. Somebody gotta walk, somebody gotta speak for our working moms. Somebody gotta
Yes.
speak for whoever your audience is.
Thank you so much, Jenea. There's so much there. So let me break it down really quick. So the first one is know what you stand for and what you don't stand for, know who you are. And the other thing that I noticed you sharing was also about hiring a mentor, hiring people that are going to lead you on this journey because you're going in a direction where you've never gone before. So it only makes sense to learn from people who have gone on the same journey, and you recommend it be someone that you have a genuine connection with. And then the last thing that you shared was, really noticing the gap in the niche that you really want to serve.
Oh, Jenea, thank you so much for sharing. I am absolutely positive, without a doubt. And I never say that. I always leave, 1%, that there are people out there that can relate. I had tears forming even as you were sharing your story. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And again, I know there's people out there who have felt aspects of even what you shared more, some maybe less, God bless them, but they're going to definitely relate to what you're sharing and realize just how important it is to know who you are in your message. And obviously you do. So thank you for teaching us today.
So I know that you have a generous resource for the people that are watching and listening. So I'd love for you to share a little information about that, and then where can they connect with you?
Yeah. I got a free case study I made just for the working moms. It's talk about some mindset. It got some mindset things in there that actually talks about some things that the working mom probably done, thinking that this would get them where they at. This could give them phenomenal transformation in their career path now. Like if they want to do a job search strategy that go give them up level their career, that's what they need to do. Now they could connect with me on Facebook. My Facebook is Jenea Ronique Solomon. I have a Facebook page at Jules Wellness Services LLC. That's my page. And then I got a group called Happy Professionals where all I talk about is all my things I do. And then I have Instagram at Jenea Ronique. And then I have a LinkedIn too at Jenea Ronique Frederick, like my LinkedIn profile. But I really want them to get that case study because I know they go find some things in there that go really, really help them. It's not just strategy. I talk about a little bit of mindset in there too. So all they gotta do is click the link, fill out the application. Watch the video. And if they like what they hear, they could schedule a call with me. It's a free call and we could upsell that even further if they want.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today for this segment of Package Your Brilliance. Jenea, before we close out, I would love for you to share any final words of wisdom for the mom out there who is about to take this entrepreneurial journey to package her brilliance so she can help people and create another income stream.
The biggest thing I would tell them is own the fear and do it anyway. Because the biggest thing I had to do with my fear, all the fears I had to do was to know that blessings was on the other side and to be uncomfortable for a moment, just a moment. So that way you could be blessed for a lifetime.
Love it. Love it. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for your final words of wisdom. There you have it. We are done with today's series and we are out of here for the day.